Okay, this is the last part 4 of Mexicans are not whites according to the Bible. Okay, hopefully you guys have followed along with me through my last 3 videos and have written down the scripture so you guys can meditate upon the precepts and like the book says, with all I give you, get an understanding. Okay, I'm going to make this video very simple and to the point. Hosea 7 and 8 is what a lot of these Israelite brothers want to use to justify that the Mexicans are the Israelites. Okay? It says, Hosea 7 and 8, Ephraim, he have mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. Okay? Now, let's see what that's really talking about. Okay, let's move up real quick. Because, see, we got to read the context of the scripture. Precept upon precept, line upon line. You can't take one and then let it be talking about skin color. Because it has nothing to do with skin color. Okay? Hosea 7 and 4. It says, they are all adulterous, as an oven heated by the baker, who ceases from raising it after he had kneaded the dough until it be leavened. And the day of our king, the princes have made him sick with bottles of wine. He stretched out his hand with scorns. Then when he was talking about adulterers, he was saying that those are spiritual, that Israel committed spiritual adultery. Not physical adultery, but spiritual adultery by serving other gods. And you can find that in Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 8, the precept that I gave you earlier, when the Most High said that he had to give Israel, backsliding Israel, a bill of divorcement because Israel went playing the harlot and she became an adulterer. So, when this is talking about adultery, spiritual adultery, not physical adultery, not sleeping with everybody and mixing the bloodline, that has nothing to do with that. Okay, verse 6, for they have made ready their heart like an oven. So, the heart was the oven. And it says, while they lie in wait, the baker sleepeth all night, and in the morning it burning as a flaming fire. So the baker was the heathen. The oven was the heart. The cake not turned was Israel. They were the cake. Their hearts were the oven, and they were the cake that was halfway cooked, halfway done, because they went serving other gods. That had nothing to do with skin color. The heart was the oven. The baker was the heathens. And the cake got turned was backsliding Israel themselves by serving other gods and serving other idols and the idols of the heathen. Let's get that. And let's get that in Psalm chapter 106, verses 35 and 36. Let's go to Psalm very quick. We're gonna get a precept of this, because precept must be put upon precept, line must be put upon line. Okay? Psalm chapter 106, verse 35. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. So they mingled themselves among the heathen. That's how they became the cake not turned, because they mixed themselves among the people. And they learned their works. So their heart became the oven, and the baker came and cooked his works in the heart of Ephraim, and it became the cake that was not burnt. They became the cake that was not burnt, because they made ready their heart for these idols. They made ready their heart for these other gods and became a cake not turned, and the baker was a heathen. Now, let's get this one more time. Psalms 106 and 35. Verse 36, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works, and they served their idols, which was a snare unto them. Why was it a snare unto them? Because they were half done. They were a cake not turned, because they made ready their hearts like an oven to take upon the baker, which was the heathen's idols. They served the idols of the heathen, so they became a cake not turned. They were mixed among the people by serving their idols and gods. They mingled themselves among the heathen by serving false gods, false idols. That has nothing to do with skin color. Again, that's why precept must be put upon precept, and scripture must be read in context and not taken out of context to fit a foolish doctrine, so we can get an understanding of what really was said and what really was going on. So, the oven again was their hearts. The baker was a heathen. How did they become the cake not turned? They became a cake not turned because they were cooked in the falsehood of serving of the gods. They were cooked in the falsehood of serving idols. They were cooked in the falsehood of lies, because they mingled themselves and they mixed themselves and they allowed their heart to be hot and open for falsehood that had nothing to do with skin color. Again, nothing. That's why you brothers need to read this Bible. I'm not slandering you brothers. I'm not slandering no one, but y'all have to read this Bible to get a clearer understanding of what it's saying, and stop trying to fit this foolish doctrine. This is going to be the last precept again of this lesson. Amos chapter 9, verse 7. It says, "O the children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, said the Lord." Now why did he compare the children of Israel to the children of the Ethiopians? Because they looked similar in appearance. They looked alike. How do you get a Mexican looking as an Ethiopian or a Native American looking as an Ethiopian? The Native American are actually descendants of the Asiatic people, of Mongoloids. So we have to put precept upon precept to get an understanding of what the scripture is saying before we just claim something and we don't have no understanding. Judah was the tribe that went all over here. Israel is in the places, just like you were told in the previous videos. Judah was all over the earth. Israel is in the places. The outcast of Israel is in the places. Judah is all over the earth. They were scattered, removed everywhere. So Judah is going to be the ones that be gathered together from all four corners of the earth, and Israel from the places. You can't get around that because it is scripture. Again, it is scripture. This is Brother Hezekiah being Yashalala, and I hope you brothers come to the understanding and get out of that 12-tribe doctrine, because it's false. I'm not on here to slander any brothers or to talk down upon any brothers. I'm on here so that all my brothers can have a clear understanding of what the scripture is saying, to correct. And I'm willing to receive correction if necessary. But I want to correct all my brothers who believe in this, and please consider this, because the scripture says a wise man considereth all things. But thank you guys for listening. Meditate upon these precepts. If you guys have a wonderful day, Shalom,